Hey guys, we haven't done an update in a while. Um, so we were able to stay in the hotel or the extended stay for a week. Um, Thanks to everybody's help and donations and whatnot. Being that my husband was out the previous week with an injury, um, we didn't have anything extra to stay much longer. They also took him off the week that we were in the extended stay, unbeknownst to him, and until of course he went to try and go to work. And then well, I feel like my timeline's messed up here. We've been sleeping in the car for the past few days. So
Your timeline's pretty good. You're not off.
oh, okay, yeah, we're tired.
Yeah.
So
You know what happened was you're right, because I got up and I got dressed that day, and I was on the schedule that morning, and then I went to go check it again because I always do that. I like to look at my schedule for the week and make sure that I know what I'm to expect. And my whole schedule for that week had been cleared out. And normally when they do that, once it's locked in for the week, they can't change it back. And the store manager is the one that does that. So I have been communicating back and forth, or trying my best to. I've left messages, or I left a phone call actually with the front, telling the managers that were up there to let the store manager know to contact me and let him know what was going on. They didn't tell him anything. My direct manager, I also had told her in a text message everything that was going on and let her know, and she told me that she would refer this information over to the store manager because they talk quite a bit. And yeah, I had been cleared from that week, and then I was cleared from that week, the following week, and then eventually this morning, I looked up and I've been completely removed from the employee system at all. So, or as a whole, not at all. Again, tired. So we went up there this morning to go talk, and after talking to the store manager, turns out there were a few days that my direct supervisor was out of town, and the way they referred the information was that we moved and that I wasn't coming back to my job, and that's not what I told. That's not what's in the text messages. The front people that the managers in the office area never told the store manager that I left him a message. And ironically, I had told one of my coworkers, whose number I also have, hey, just in case if you see the manager before I do, here's what's going on, so that you can refer that, just in case they don't say anything or they ask where I've gone, because I know my job, like, it's got its ins and outs. But I know that sometimes the people up front can be a little lazy about referring information. But the kicker was that he had no idea, the store manager, that I was actually still intending to come to work. So I told him the full story of what was going on, and he understood. And the earliest they can get me back into the schedule will be next Thursday, which means we still have one more week in which I won't be able to work.
now I suppose the blessing in all this is that we received a what do you call that, the grant specifically?
It is the RDEG, which is it's basically an emergency grant for dancers, and it's based out of New York, so it's NYFA grant.
Right. So we were accepted for that grant. The problem is we don't know when it'll actually come in, and that's where we're kind of as the holding screen. It's just waiting for it to come in because it's been accepted. They're reviewing the information that they asked us to send them, and hopefully, I was hoping by the end of this week. Of course, we're already halfway through this. Actually, we're almost at the end of this week. I'm hoping that first thing next week at the very latest, that we get something in or something like that. Him not being able to work his job has been stressful. If you guys just to give you guys a bit of understanding here, it's not that I don't want to work. It's not that I don't have a job or anything. I usually have been driving for Spark, DoorDash. There was one other that I was driving for a while, but I didn't do that one too long because it wasn't very frugal. Somewhere in November of last year, Spark does this thing where, and if you don't know what Spark is, it's Walmart delivery, Home Depot, things like that. Well, they do this thing where when it's seasonal, when the heavy seasons come in for groceries, they kick out old drivers and put new drivers in and give all the orders to new drivers. Well, I've been stuck in that limbo since November. So I was doing that as well as that job that I had lost, because that's what I was trying to transition from. Because if you ever if you if you've been following us for a while, you know that there was a time period in which I drove my car into the ground paying for things. I was making thousands of dollars a week. And that thousands of dollars a week was going straight into our bills because it was just meeting ends meet. And what actually happened was we ended up having to repair my car, I think maybe almost 4 times in 1 month. I'm sorry, 4 times in 1 year. 2 times in 1 month. And so I was like, that's why I was looking for the regular job. Around that same time, and I don't know how many of you guys are believers or understand that particular walk of life, but around that same time, I got a message from the Most High to be still. And my hard-headed self, because I know I have to work. You have to have food on your table. You have to pay for things. You can't. This isn't a world where you can live where you don't do something, especially in this economy. 2 incomes is what's necessary for a household nowadays. And so my hard-headed self was like, okay, he said be still, so I won't drive as much. That's where that second repair came in. I didn't drive as much, but I did still go out and end up damaging my car. Like actual cosmetic damage, by the way. I didn't hit anyone. Rolling over stuff. I had to replace 3 tires in almost 2 months. Actually, no, 3 tires in 1 month. And I have a dent in my car because I was exhausted and didn't see a pole. And I'm usually, even exhausted, I'm a very safe driver. Riding my motorcycle as long as I did consecutively has made me a very safe driver. And so all types of things kept happening. And let's get into the applications part of this, because I was still applying for everything and anywhere and everywhere, temp services and all. When I tell you, this is why I believe that God was like, I said sit down. I said be still. I applied to so many jobs. And, you know, it's normal sometimes for an application to not go through. What is not normal is for a whole website to crash the moment you hit send. There are instances in which I've spent hours putting in applications, not getting in confirmations from legitimate businesses, not getting confirmations, or not being shown in their system when I call, not being able to actually submit the application, or being told that I'm overqualified. I have never heard that I'm overqualified for a job. I don't have a bachelor's degree or an associate's. I don't. I have a lot of experience, yes, but I don't have those things. So how am I overqualified for an entry-level job? This is why I say it's God, because this is I've never been able to, or I've never been this long not having a job consecutively. Anytime I don't have one, I find another immediately. I have good credentials. I'm a good worker. I don't have, either way, we're not going to get in all that. So just for those of you that may think that telling me to go find a job or telling me to apply here, do this and everything, I appreciate you. I truly do. And I have been doing it. Just so you know that it's not that I'm not doing these things. I can't supersede God's will. I can't. There's not much I can do in this situation. So I'm doing what I can and being obedient and being still. The message that I got from the Most High before we even left our place, about a month before, was to build. And I said, okay. So, of course, me praying, I said, Lord, if this is what I'm supposed to do, if I'm supposed to just be still, which was very hard for me, and I'm supposed to build, what is my husband supposed to do? And he said, provide. And I was like, okay, cool. I got you. And that's where my husband came into the situation, with all the things that the grants, the applications he's been putting into other jobs. Thank you. Mm-hmm. This nose ring moves a lot when I talk. So he's put in a lot of work, and the other bits of our financial stuff. The reason we were able to stay in the apartment comfortably as long as we did financially was because he was building. I was told to be still. He was told to build. Or rather, he was told to provide. And so here we are. So I don't look at this situation as a horrible thing. Yes, is it exhausting to be sleeping in a car that's literally 90 something degrees overnight? Yes, it is exhausting. We are both tired. He doesn't sleep much. I can't breathe while I'm sleeping. I have sleep apnea, so sometimes in heat or in certain positions I will stop breathing, which is terrifying to him. I know, I'm sorry, babes. Not like I'm doing it on purpose. But it's a sucky situation. Both of my sisters have been very supportive. They've let us shower at their house. We still need to do laundry, but we're still blessed. There are things that we need, of course, like my phone is probably going to be off by tomorrow. And
Storage unit.
The storage unit, of course, I didn't know this when we signed up. Since we set it up in like the end of the month, I thought, okay, well, it's like when you, like, your payment schedule is based off of the day that you put your stuff in. It's not. It's first of the month. That's fun.
No prorate.
Nope. Well, so the prorate came in when we actually got the unit. And I was like, okay, that it didn't occur to me. But we were also in a lot of stress. We were doing a lot of things, so I should have asked. Yet again, 'tis what it is.
Yeah. That's nobody's fault.
So it's nobody's fault. So we have my phone bill and the storage unit to deal with. Like I said, my hopes and prayers are that this grant comes in soon. I now know what I need to live outside, though, or at least a basic thing to leave in the car. We need some type of fan that lasts longer than our little handhelds, because I'll literally be sleeping with my fan sitting here like this, it blowing on my face. Thank you, love. Mm-hmm. My glasses have been so dirty collecting dust. Yeah, so we at least know that, and one of those jumper boxes, because my car, if you've been with us for a while, you know what happened last time we were sleeping in my car. My car will turn into a paperweight.
Good old anti-theft.
Yeah, good old anti-theft system. So I still don't understand this system in full, babe. Did you understand?
Yeah, so anti-theft it was an attempt at making it hard to steal a car. So there's actually a mechanism connected to one of the electrodes that is on the battery, right? So actually, well, not on the battery, it's on the actual contact that the battery plugs into. And what it does is it's connected to your remote sensor and your sensors in your car, your alarm, things like that. If someone tries to steal your car, it locks your steering wheel and it kills your battery. It purges the battery so that you can't turn it over, you can't turn the wheel, can't start it up. And if you try to jump it, it'll actually intercept that charge and not let the battery take a charge. So pretty much to stop people from either spoofing or trying to jam remotes, which is something people were doing in like the early 2000s, where they would get a generic remote and they press the original remote or your remote and try to get it to switch the signal. It was some weird thing people were doing a while back. If you do anything weird with the remote or otherwise do anything weird with the car, it'll kill your battery just in case someone's trying to steal your car. We're going to make it like, it's like going limp if somebody tries to snatch you in a store, just like, yeah. So, and that wasn't planned. But what happened is there's been a factory defect with Nissan Murano models like ours, where sometimes if the remote battery dies or the remote is in the car and you're in the car for more than 30 minutes talking it up or on the phone or just in the car, it'll assume that the car is being stolen. Yeah. And
there's sensors on the doors, there's sensors on the chairs. Apparently shifting too much, pushing against the doors will hit the sensor and either turn on the those, if your car has those little lights on the doors and things like that, it'll turn things like that on, and it'll slow drain your battery, or it'll completely lock things up so that you can't move the car. Which, like I said, in hindsight, amazing if there's a thief. But I can't sleep in my car without having to worry about it if I'm gonna wake up to a paperweight. Yeah. even with our windows being down, because that's a must to sleep in here because the air is so thick at night. Because, like I said, it's still 90 something degrees at night. I think it only starts to get up to like 7 or down to 70 or so, and that's high 70s, by the way. Around, I think,
like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. In the afternoon?
3 to 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sorry. Yeah. Actually, no, 4 or 5, because at 3 it was still boiling in here.
You're right, 4 to 5, because I was looking at my my weather app the other day, because you gotta do that to gauge. Okay, how much am I gonna die tonight? Joking. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with. We have plenty of portable chargers, so our phones don't die. And also our fans will die after a few hours of. So we can't just put it on the low setting because how hot it is. We have to put it on like medium to high. And so that kills the battery faster, which is why I was like, we need a fan that has that's stronger, right? Has solar battery. And it has a better battery, like the ones that you use for camping, which I've found online. I've actually started making an Amazon list of all these things so that I can put it all in one place. And yeah, man. We're taking this with a grain of salt. We know that this isn't going to be forever, and this is probably not even going to be for the next week or so. But
I feel like a metamorphic rock in here.
Bruh, like this is not for the weak.
Mm-hmm.
This is not for people that are trying to sleep in their cars for long term. I wouldn't, like in Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, Florida, and Houston, where I'm from. You don't sleep in cars in places where the humidity lurks around after dark.
And at first I was like, I have a leather interior, so it's gonna be worse. I've actually slept in cars that have fabric interiors, and I think that's worse because the fabric will literally trap in all heat. The leather is just topical. So there's a blessing.
I mean, you have heated seats though, so
yeah.
In the winter it's nice and toasty.
Yeah, in the winter.
I wish they had like cooling coils,
bruh,
so that you could But then again, that'd be kind of weird because then you just be sweating.
Not like Nissan. Like, let me talk to you real quick. You put some type of cooling things in your car.
They call it AC.
not the AC, like something else. Something else.
Think people are gonna spend the night in their vehicles. I mean, they advertise that in pickup trucks and stuff. People will be camping under the stars or watching fireworks, and they'll have them sitting on the tailgate. But that's outside.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody. I don't really see a lot of SUV commercials where they advertise you being closed in the vehicle. It's always either sitting in the back with the camper thing kind of going on, where the the back door is up, or someplace where the airflow is natural, not just closed in.
Yeah. Overall, y'all, this is an update, and this is probably as long as our very first update to you guys. I'm sorry.
Well, that makes sense because a lot has happened.
Yeah, a lot has happened in the last few days. Usually, I'm gonna try and do shorter updates or more closer to the time frame that it's happening or whatever. But I just haven't felt the need to record a lot. Yeah, I did my video the other day with my crochet hat, and that was just to make me feel good. Not gonna lie, but
and I haven't really. I've been posting a lot more with giving advice because. Even though we are in the situation, it doesn't nullify what we've done and what we've created because the situation isn't a reset. It's literally a loading screen.
Yeah, I'm not homeless and I changed my personality and everything.
Yeah. I've given out advice. I've revamped the Artist Prep guidebook so it has more details. I've had time to do that now. The grant cycles have started, so ironically, while I've been going mad crazy applying for as many grants as I can, I've also been sharing the information with people that have asked me about grants. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and then just sharing quotes, when I learn something. But I haven't been on socials like that too much either.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it until I was looking at my socials. I was like, oh, snap, I haven't posted.
Yeah.
Like a story, sure, but that's it. And those are all just distractions from the situation that we're in. I mean, of course, we wanted to show you guys that we're still in good spirits. I wouldn't be able to do this with anyone else but my husband. Like, if it was anyone else sitting over there, I'd be on like, oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a whole thing. But I'm happy. Of course, I'm happy that I have him. And in this situation, I know that it's not going to be a long-standing one. This is a lesson. This is a blessing, and this is something that's that removed us from a place that probably we weren't supposed to be at, or not probably that we weren't supposed to be at. and removing things that we're not supposed to have. We got rid of a lot of stuff when we were moving too, not because we had to, but because we didn't feel it necessary to take with us in the next chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and no, we didn't leave it in the apartment.
No, we didn't leave it in the apartment.
Took it to the recycle center.
We were able to go back because you know, neither one of us felt okay with leaving anything in that apartment. Not because of any particular reason aside from the fact that that's just the type of people we are.
Yeah.
But we were able to go back and clear every single thing out.
We utilized the time frame to give us the ability to do that, and made sure, like, even though it was heavy on us, we made sure to get that place completely cleaned out, turned in the keys and everything.
Yeah.
And we left on good terms. We didn't do anything aggressive. We didn't do anything vandalous.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other conversation, y'all. We are still dealing with some things with them that we're not sure if we can disclose right now because of other things. But just know that we gonna handle that because
litigation.
All right, well, with that being said, I guess we're gonna go and see if we can get some library cards. That'll be fun.
Yeah, look, a short adventure.
Yeah.
First time, I think, second time we've been up here to the library. First time going in.
All right. I guess maybe stay tuned to my stories. Yeah. All right, we love you guys, and we thank you all for your support, love, and encouragement. We are still accepting donations, of course. We don't have to, or rather, you don't have to. We love you regardless of what you do or don't do, and whatever situation you're in or not in. Hey, look, life is lifing for everybody. We don't expect everybody to drop everything for us, and if you don't, that doesn't mean you love us any less, and we don't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
We love you lots, and yeah, have a great day, have a great week, and have a great month.